Hello everybody out there and welcome to this, another edition of a late night screen review. This time we're talking about Sting. Ah! Not really. It's nothing. Nothing there.
You hungry? Cool.
So, Sting is directed by Cian Roach Turner and is in all major UK theatres starting from today. Yeah. What's the story, Morning Glory? I should be on X Factor. So, Sting tells the story of Charlotte, a 12-year-old girl who's, full of life, full of spunk, and she lives in a high-rise flat with her struggling parents. Well, her father is not in fact her real father; it's a stepfather, because her father has kind of run out on the family a year or so prior and hasn't been back. Charlotte is struggling to deal with this, but the rest of the family are moving forward. She has a new baby brother. And, they live in this tiny little flat and they are, the parents are struggling with their jobs and things like that. And then one day, Charlotte finds a spider. Or is it? So what did I think of the movie? Well, here's the thing. I saw the trailer, as I always do, because I'm constantly at the cinema these days, which is no bad thing. I love the cinema. But I saw the trailer, and I'm going to say this up front. I'm not an arachnophobe. I actually really find spiders to be quite fascinating, even though, most people think they're gross and scary. But, I looked at the trailer, I thought, you know what, this looks like fun. It's a creature feature. Hey, yeah, I've not seen one of those in a while. And a spider, yeah, absolutely. One of the top creatures. If you're going to do something giant and scary, it's going to be some sort of spider, I guess. And obviously, just like looking at the sort of sequences that you see in the trailer, I was kind of pumped about this. I was like, yeah, this could be pretty creepy, pretty, get my skin crawling a little bit, and it's nice when you can feel that way, because obviously in my real life, I'm such a badass that I fear nothing. But watching this trailer, I was like, oh, you know what? This could make me, this could give me the chills a little bit, a bit of the creeps here. So I was really looking forward to going to see this movie. And just initial impressions, what did I think? Well, you know what? Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. Now, I've got to say it like that because I didn't love the movie. And I actually went in thinking, you know what? This is right up my alley. A monster, giant spider, creepy crawlies, a bit of fun, bit of humour. Right up my alley. This could be something I could sink my teeth into. And it kind of got there, but it didn't get all the way there for me personally. Now, this film is shot beautifully, it's acted great, the casting's fantastic, the setting, the lighting, blah-de-blah-de-blah, like it's all fantastic, the special effects, great. It is kind of a horror comedy. There's a lot of like innuendos, nods, little Easter eggs about other horror films, things like that, references, there are jokes. But kind of about halfway through the movie, all that kind of peters out and it kind of turns into a different kind of film. It turns into more of a kind of family drama. Charlotte doesn't know that her father has kind of left and then he's not coming back because he's a jerk. She thinks he's off in another country doing some sort of important work because her mum sort of told her the lie. She's now remarried. They've got a new baby. Things are quite stressful in this small flat, crying baby. Charlotte's trying to have her, people pay attention to her, etc., etc., etc. And it kind of falls back on that quite hard at one point during the film, about halfway through, in my opinion. It falls back on the family drama side of things. Not a bad thing. All the characters are written fairly realistically. You follow along. You like this family. You like these people. The stepdad is trying his hardest with Charlotte to kind of nurture a bond and maybe become, official dad to Charlotte. And that's all very, great. You want to follow along. But damn it, I'm there for the giant spider. And other than the kind of initial opening bits to the movie, and where Charlotte initially finds the creature and starts to feed it and look after it, this, that, and the other, it kind of goes away after a while. The effects are great, but there's not many of them. And I think what surprised me about the film most of all is that other than the sequence that we've already seen in the trailer, whereas the woman's knocked out on the floor and the spider's crawling into her mouth and obviously going to eat her from the inside out, that's kind of the epitome of the film there. It doesn't kind of get much better than that. And after that sequence, after that kind of death happens, you don't get a lot more spider antics, I don't think. I just feel like they didn't use the monster as to its full potential, and I was kind of left wanting by this movie. Again, not by the characters, not by the story for the characters and their arc. That was all done fine, but the spider, the deaths, the kind of spidery things you could do with a giant spider, and like, they kind of did that one thing and then thought, and yeah, now we'll just kind of have it jump out every now and again, and that's kind of it. And I left the film slightly disappointed on that fact. As I say, everything else, it's brilliant. It's fine. It's absolutely great. It does what it says on the tin. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing special. They've not done anything different or interesting particularly. And what I will say about this movie, which was kind of, it occurred to me later on in the final third of the film, that this film is basically a homage to early 90s B movies that were in fact homages to the 1950s B movies. You know, like Eight-Legged Freaks and I don't know, like, and you know, Arachnophobia and all those kind of things. It's this film is very kind of trope ridden. Like, as I say, like the estranged father, the stepdad trying to step up and have the daughter finally call him dad, you know, and that kind of thing. Even, and slight spoilers ahead now, just very, very slight spoilers. Even the very last shot of the movie, could you out there think about it? It's a giant spider. What do? They eat, they kill, but they also lay eggs. So what you're going to see, it's an homage. It's something like out of the 1990s Godzilla movie. The final shot is of an egg sac cracking open. And that's the kind of, if you're a film goer out there and you know what I'm talking about, you know what this film is going to be. There are no surprises here. It's essentially just an homage to those early 90s B movies that were those creature features that came. There was quite a few of them back in the day, and they were basically based on the 1950s B movies. And this is basically just another one of those kind of films. It's not a bad thing. It's just a statement of fact. Like, that's what this movie is doing. It's doing an homage to those 90s movies. And even so much as the characters and the way they're dressed is very 1990s, you know, and yeah, like with the family dynamics and the family drama and all that kind of stuff. And the creature itself, again, another minor spoiler, the creature itself comes from an asteroid hitting the Earth. I mean, how B-movie cheese is that? It doesn't get any more. So for me, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. I thought there could be more spidery antics than there actually were. And it is just one big fat sort of homage pastiche to those early 90s B movies. So if you've seen any of those kind of films, you've seen this movie, you know what to expect, but you might love that. And for me, it was great. It was fun. It was fine. I was left a bit wanting. But so for me, it's a recommend, but it's not a high recommend by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a lot of fun. If you're out there and you love a good B movie monster flick and you love a good spider flick, you're not going to be like massively disappointed by this movie. Me personally, I always want more monster. But for me, it's a recommend. And I kind of hope to see more of these kinds of films coming out because, you know, I'm a massive sucker for a monster flick, for a creature feature. So yeah, I mean, more power to the director. I hope they make more movies along these same kind of lines. Next time, just a bit more monster, please. But until next time, guys, that's a quick review of Sting from me. But until next time, stay safe, stay scared, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.